your business depends on engines to get the job done, you know that the ability to protect them and keep equipment on the job can make or break your ability to compete. In other words, if equipment goes down, your profits go down right along with it. And when you're running a large fleet with hundreds or even thousands of units on a job, I don't have to tell you how quickly those extra costs can add up. As you're about to see, when it comes to engine protection, the one area you do not want to compromise on is your choice of heavy-duty engine oil. To explain why, I'm joined today by not one, but two industry experts who are going to unpack the truth about how oil formulations do what they do to protect engines and share valuable information you need to choose the right oil for your equipment. Well, gentlemen, thanks for being a part of this special episode here. We've worked together a few times in the last couple of years, and something that's really stuck out to me is I know that we all share this commitment to educating and training, and really that's what today's conversation is going to be all about. As industry experts, it's kind of our responsibility to help share the knowledge and information that people need to get ahead. There's been so much change over the last few years in the industries that rely on equipment both on and off highway on a number of levels. For instance, with so many retirements, the experienced teachers and mentors just aren't there to guide the next generation of talent. On top of that, ever-increasing regulations are forcing the use of DPFs and after-treatment systems, and that just further complicates things. So whether knowingly or unknowingly, a lot of folks are compromising on things that are hurting their ability to compete. And a major one is their choice of heavy-duty diesel engine oil. So I guess, Keith, my question to you is, if I'm running diesels and I don't have another option, what's my solution to this ash problem?
Yeah, and I think, Brian, as Sean was mentioning, right, 90% of this ash is coming from the engine oil. So, maybe a good solution is, can I find a lower ash oil? Can I find an ultra low ash oil out there on the market? And I would say that that's certainly part of the equation, because you want not only an ultra low ash product, you want a fully qualified product. Yeah, it's got to meet all the requirements that you need for your equipment. And so, Chevron's idea years ago was to say, we want to help look at not only protecting the engine, but protecting the after treatment system. And so what can we do? And how can we lower the ash and still provide the protection that you need on the engine? So, that's where we came up with our Delo 600 ADF, which is in the market now. And since API CJ4, when they launched that, in conjunction with the advanced after treatment systems, the sulfated ash level was set at a maximum of 1%. So everyone was operating with the assumption that, well, okay, now we've got to hit 1% sulfated ash, and that's the maximum, so we'll just deal with that. Chevron's approach was, well, that's not good enough. That's a maximum, but we can do better. And the Delo 600 ADF is 0.4%, so 60% less sulfated ash than traditional API CK4 products.
But we've also found that it does impart a fuel economy penalty as well, as a result of the back pressure associated with that system clogging.
And as Sean mentioned, the penalty, while it's very difficult to measure on some of this, I mean, we've analyzed tens of thousands of data points with the OEM, is you can see the fuel economy degrade as that DPF ages and starts to fill with ash. So on the control unit, the 1%, we see that starting to happen around 1,000 hours. You can see it start ticking up. With ultra low ash, we're still as good as new. It's been over a 3% fuel economy benefit by going to Delo 600. So think about it. We've doubled the oil drain intervals.
One pain point for everyone I know in the field is buildup of ash in the DPF, because now we have a machine that's down until we go and get this thing cleaned out. But I was always under the impression that's what the regen is for. You just cook it all off. So am I understanding that incorrectly? Why are we having to clean our DPFs?
Yeah, Brian, that's actually a common misconception. So these diesel particulate filters are remarkably efficient and to do kind of the job that they're assigned to do, which is to reduce that particulate matter, keep the smoke out of the tailpipe of the diesel piece of equipment. And they do so by actually physically trapping that PM, but they're porous in that they allow the exhaust gases to flow through. And then periodically, and when the temperature conditions are favorable due to the presence of catalytic material, that trapped carbonaceous, that soot, actually burns off, right? And only thing that's left behind is anything that's incombustible. And what we found is that something like 90% of that incombustible, or what oftentimes we refer to as ash material, is derived from the metallic additives that are found in the consumed lubricating oil. So the rate at which those contaminants accumulate is really tied to two things. It's the degree to which the oil is being consumed and how much ash is in the engine oil. And as those materials accumulate and eventually clog the system, they do require periodic maintenance, which could mean taking the device off the piece of equipment, blowing out that ash.
On behalf of Keith Shaw and Sean Whitaker, I'm Brian Furness. Thanks for joining us, and remember, there are times when compromise is the wrong call. Choosing the engine oil you need to keep your operation running is definitely one of them. Protect to win.